Hey guys, so I just got these 5 samples I ordered off this eBay seller. They came pretty quickly actually. So what do we have? We have Tom Ford smoked cherry. We have Frederick Malle Monjou. We have Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute. That's without the T. Dior Homme Parfum. I think that I think there are 2 different editions of this scent. I guess this is the Parfum. And lastly, we have Tom Ford Black Orchid Parfum. So, I've tried a couple of these already. I haven't tried them all already. And the day I did try them, I think I was kind of nose blind. So I'm just going to try them again and do it so that anybody who's wondering what they smell like from at least one person's perspective will be able to get an answer. Okay, let's start with cherry smoke. Right off the bat, it's like very, very cherry forward. Okay. So those super, super fruity top notes are actually fading, not entirely, but they're fading a little bit and really quickly. Okay, now I can smell a lot more leather. I can smell the woods. I don't really get a smoked component at all. It's more just woody leathery, but I guess I can see how somebody would interpret that as smoky, or maybe how it would show up as smoky on somebody else's skin. That's actually gorgeous. When I tried that previously, I thought it was way too cherry forward. I also have, what's the other one? I almost said Cherry Delight. Lost Cherry is the one I'm thinking of, and that one is extremely cherry forward. They're not as similar at all as I initially thought they were. That's really lovely, and I don't think cherry's not really one of the fruity notes I think I most prefer. I think I kind of maybe tend to associate it a little bit with, like, I don't know, juvenile cherries popping. What? Um, that's really nice. I don't remember it smelling like that before. I wonder if it was just the fact that I was nose blind, or if my skin chemistry now, for whatever reason, is actually picking up on different notes. Not different, but different. It's just a lot more mature and sort of darker than it initially was when I tried it last time. One thing about this scent is that obviously it's called smoked cherry, but I think that, and I guess this sort of goes against the whole idea of that line with like bitter peach, blah blah blah, whatever. I think if it were, for instance, like cherry and plum, or there was more of like a fruity note in there, maybe um, like orange blossom or rose or something, I think it would give it a little more character. But obviously, then it might not be smoked cherry, it'd be whatever else. I don't dislike perfumes that tend to be centered around one note like that by any means, especially if it's a note I like, and that might be where the non-issue is here. It's just the fact that it is very cherry, but it's really nice actually. I'd consider buying if it were cheaper, but with those Tom Ford prices, I can't see this being one of the ones I would invest in, even though I do like it. I might take that back later. Okay, this one I had high hopes for, but I did not like it when I initially tried it. This is Dior Homme, the Parfum. Ooh, this liquid actually has a little bit of an ambery color. And I remember why I didn't like it. I think it's the iris. I think iris is one of those tricky notes for me where it just really, it tends to smell at once like, I don't know, what some people think of as like a clean linen scent, I just think of as like, I mean, yeah, I guess doing laundry, kind of the same thing, right? I don't see how that appeals to so many people, but unfortunately, I'm getting a lot of those laundry detergent sort of vibes from this one. Another thing is I know it has cacao or cocoa. Are those the same, different? I guess they're different. I don't smell that at all, at least not yet. What else is in there? It's very iris forward, unfortunately. You know what? I should have had it so that I can look up the notes while I'm recording this. That's okay. What else is there? You know what? Honestly, I don't have a great nose when it comes to like actually discerning what notes are in a fragrance, and I am going to look this up because I do want to know. Okay, one second. Okay, so this is the 2014 one. I think the other one, maybe it's not a Parfum. Oh, wrong one, sorry. Um, Jesus fucking Christ, what did I just do? Okay, now, on Fragrantica, it's actually classified as a leather fragrance, which I... Mm-mm. There might be a little leather in there. I think maybe in the dry down it would be a little more prominent. Um, so it's listed as one of the middle notes here. Top notes: Tuscan iris and Italian orange. I am absolutely getting the iris. I don't know if I really smell orange. The leather to me is very faint, and the rose. It's very well blended, I guess, in the sense that it kind of is like it's not muddy, but it's not necessarily easy to discern any notes besides the iris, and then I'm getting yeah, just like a woodsy, almost like whiskey like profile, but not really. Um so the base notes sandalwood, I actually was thinking, was that sandalwood? And I guess it was. Ambret, oud, and cedar. I guess I'm getting a little of the oud, but to me, that's one of those scents like iris that can kind of veer toward clean laundry territory a little too easily. This reminds me a lot of and I wonder which one came out first. One of the Givenchy, um, whatever. I'm not gonna look it up right now. Yes, I am. I think this is it. Now I turned the AC off so that you'd hopefully be able to hear me better. Okay, I think yeah, Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisé by Givenchy. I think that's the one this reminds me of, unless it's a different one in that series or whatever. I'm gonna turn the AC on. I hope you can still hear me because it's fucking hot in here. Okay, so I would not buy this. I would certainly not buy this. Um, I guess some people like that powdery sort of iris facet. I just find it very, ugh, I don't know, a little too like barbershop old man. It's just not to my taste. And powdery scents in general, I'm not a huge fan of. It's not bad. I really, the iris is so prominent, I can't really smell any other distinct notes that easily. But that's it. Enough about that. Um, I don't want to go nose blind, so I might not do these all right now. Let's do the other one. Okay, so I don't want to do this one, but I do want to do it. This is Mon Dieu by Frederick Malle. Whoa. Right off the bat, like a million times more aggressively masculine than the other two. I do not care for that, and that's what I thought the last time I tried it. It's just, I tend to like a lot of darker, woodsier, leathery scents, but this is like that component, but extremely patchouli forward, and I don't dislike patchouli. I really think that if you wore like dark patchouli essential oil, it would get you about 80% of the way to this exact scent. Okay, wait. Yeah, I thought for a second I smelled something sweet in there, but honestly it might have been the Dior on my wrist. It's just very... Yeah, it's grungier than patchouli. Like, it smells even dirtier than patchouli smells, if that's possible. The name Mon Dieu, it makes you think it would be like a really classy sort of scent, but this is very, like, it's giving just dirty hippie all the way. And I can't imagine it would change much during the dry down. I mean, to me, everything I'm smelling is reading it as like a base note, if that makes sense, which is to say, there's nothing in here besides like patchouli and woods that I can smell. It's very strong, and it almost has like a medicinal bitter component. It's hard for things to smell bitter, but I think this actually manages to do it. That's a no. That's a no for me. And I'm disappointed because I actually thought I would really like this one. Let's look her up, see what notes are. Okay. Now, Fragrantica, you know, they have the different colored things for the Accords. Top three here are woody, patchouli, and amber. Um, I don't smell any amber. I mean, I really don't. I guess you can have ambers that aren't super sweet, but to me it just, I'm not getting a lot of resin, and the resiny quality I am getting is almost like straight, like tree sap or something. It's by no means is it like a sensual amber or a warm amber. This isn't really, it's not really a warm fragrance at all. It's kind of a, I guess, cold and abstractly like intellectual almost. Um, Dramatic masculine scent. It is definitely that. Addictive for patchouli enthusiasts. That's a no for me. I do not care for this scent. Expensive and luxurious smelling. Nobody disagrees with that one, but to me, it just smells like dirty hippie. Okay, top notes rum and tangerine. I do not get either of those. I really don't. This thing's being annoying. Hold on. Yeah, so I mean, I really wouldn't recommend this scent, but maybe some people who are patchouli fans would like it. Next on our list, Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute. This one I almost actually blind bought because the note pyramid was just like perfection. And I kind of wish I did blind buy it. That's a really gorgeous scent. Okay, I'm getting some really like super super boozy top notes that I'm not in love with necessarily. I don't dislike boozy notes, but you know, there's a time and a place. Man, that's so nice. It's very, very benzoin heavy. If you've ever smelled benzoin essential oil, it's just like a very, it's almost like a cross between vanilla and myrrh. It's like a very just warm, sweet, rich, ambery scent. And the last time I wore this, it actually, for a scent that's, it's a light scent. I mean, you look at the note pyramid, and a lot of it is like woody, sort of ambery oriental things that you might associate with some scents that could be heavier, but no, it's really gorgeously light. It's so interesting. I haven't smelled a woody, ambery scent that's been that kind of airy in a while. It's really nice. Yeah, just a very sweet without being like sugary, um, balsamic, sort of woodsy, almost caramelly scent. It's not really vanilla, but I'm definitely getting the benzoin. I wonder if there's tonka. That one is really nice, and that one I will be buying. Tom Ford Black Orchid. Now I'm going to work in an hour, and I'm not going to spray this because honestly, this shit is strong. I mean, one spray of this and I think you could easily fill a whole room. My thoughts on it though, from what I remember anyway, it is about like 90 to 95% similar to the original Black Orchid, to the point where it's almost like they just like corrected it. I think that's it's nicer than Black Orchid because it has a little more spice, and the rum note kind of, it just makes it a more well-rounded fragrance, I think, and less of a distinctly floral, because despite the many darker, heavier notes in Black Orchid, it is extremely floral heavy. The florals in there are lethal. And in here too, which I was kind of hoping wouldn't be the case, but yeah, it's a very similar scent. And I'm not going to wear it because I'd smell like it intensely for the rest of the day. And that's it. I hope you found some stuff useful, and I'll try to upload again, I guess, see how this goes. Bye.